you're watching Bits.
Who was it that said something about being in the gutter but always looking up at the stars?
Oscar Wilde.
Well, like Oscar Wilde, on tonight's show, we're going to be gazing up at the heavens at the episodic game they're calling Halcyon Sun and chatting to one of the guys that made it happen.
We'll also be opening ourselves up to divine intervention with the new Dreamcast rally sim, Sega GT.
And we'll be asking that important question, where the frick is the game? We'll also be taking a peek at our top 10 finalists in our search for the biggest geek in the UK.
But first, here's Booth with Gunman Chronicles.
Will running around corridors blasting aliens with big fucking guns ever get tiresome? Well, not according to a group of bedroom developers from across the globe who go by the name of Rewolf. Hang on a minute there, madam. Having nabbed the engine from Half-Life to originally make a conversion, this game suddenly turned up on our doorsteps as a fully-fledged, truly original sci-fi shooter called Gunman Chronicles. Is it anything to do with the Half-Life storyline? No. Is it screaming out for the hardcore and trigger-happy among us to rid the galaxy from alien scum once again? Oh, yeah. You know the story. 5 years ago, a search and rescue operation up in space goes horribly wrong, leaving troops and gunmen minced up by aliens called Xenomes. You escaped, but fast forward a bit, and whoop-de-doo, half the galaxy has been infested by the now genetically enhanced and perfectly evolved little buggers, and you need to know why. Taking on the role of one of the good guys, you play a gunman, blasting your way across the universe. But here's where Gunman Chronicles steers away from your typical first-person shooter. There's a huge emphasis placed on big bastard guns from the future that can do pretty much anything you want them to. Each gun can be fully modified during in-game combat. That means you can tweak and transform your guns to perfection. It's kind of like guns with special moves. The only thing they don't do is make you tea. By selecting a gun, say the pistol, you right-click on your mouse and can change the weapon's settings from rapid fire to laser pulse to sniper mode. I did find the game a tad reluctant to accept all my commands and exercise my customizations, but that was because the gameplay is new and unobvious. In the middle of combat, it's tricky to juggle at first, especially when you enter the actual game and all that greets you is a free-for-all carnage fest. But you get over it, and hey, it's not supposed to be a breeze. This is not one for first-timers. The learning curve ain't that kind, nor is the tough AI. But I'm sure this is something veterans will be gagging for. You actually need to be strategic with your guns and stealthy with your creeping about, or you'll get splattered instantly. Harsh. Still, this frustration lends an addictive quality, because you know the smug little shit is actually just a finely tuned game that needs mastering. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. Expect carnage from the prehistoric to the futuristic, from dinosaurs to androids. This game spans 70 levels across 4 different planets, so it's really rather large. Gunman Chronicles is hardcore, and not for the weak.
You're fussy, you're demanding, you require perfection. Dreamcast owners, you want a driving game a cut above the rest. Well, have Sega got a peach for you. If you thought that Sony's Gran Turismo was the bomb, then prepare yourself for some of this shell shock. It's money, honey. It's Sega GT. Sega GT is the latest in a long line of Gran Turismo clones, once again suffering from the not-quiteness of other pretenders to the throne. Sony's 1997 Butte is a darn hard act to follow, but Sega could have got more grease in their fingers and passed on some of the corporate sponsors when they were creating this excuse for a driving simulator. It follows the same haggard routine, with a series of licenses opening up racetracks and better cars. Sadly, they've got this amazing machine, and they're no way exploiting the power of the Dreamcast in the same way GT used the feeble PSX. Perhaps they've spread themselves too thinly. The version we're getting is a special Euro mix without the Japanese or most American cars. The developers claim it's to make Brit consumers feel more comfy cozy. But it's our opinion that they're subtly engendering a strict patriotism which might ultimately result in the Third World War. No, really. What this baby has that makes it a cut above the rest is personality. It's a chameleon, it's a stallion, and this thoroughbred is crying out for you. And that is why I'm gonna throw in a little extra, the Carezzo mode, just to keep you sweet. Now, don't forget to tell the big man upstairs, all right, little lady? Perhaps the only redeeming feature of Sega GT is this Frankenstein's laboratory that would bring a mist to the eye of anyone who thinks scrap heap challenges entertaining television. In this shed, you can piece together your very own cut and shut. Then you can test the soldering iron against the prefabbed cars on the track. Cast all your virtual driving experience aside and condescend to the control level of Sega GT, and you might just get into it. But don't expect a white-knuckle ride, it's more an exercise in twiddling your thumbs. A given course takes a full 2 seemingly endless minutes and 24. You didn't crash, you crawled along, ass dragging on asphalt. You can just taste the life seconds as they drain out of you. After the first 2 unchallenging hours of play, you convince yourself that what's happening is growing on you, and you dig the continuous guitar solos of the techno-based rock. No, this is a psychological phenomenon called cognitive dissonance, a response soldiers have after blowing away villages. Do not fall prey and plonk out the dough. Sega GT is a lemon. And because you're such a pretty baby, I'm gonna give you a couple of mini games.
Thou shalt not lie about crap games!
Okay. It may frustrate the uninitiated chump initially, but Sega GT, once you play it for a while, you'll discover that it's a really dull game indeed. It's not a Hot Rod Lincoln. It's a nice bunch of tire marks. Here to give you the skids right now.
Do you ever wonder what happens to all those computer games you hear about, but never see on the shop shelf?
Well, games developers aren't the best at sticking to deadlines. In fact, they're renowned, they never release on time.
So, what exactly did happen to all those games that were supposed to be on the shop shelf eons ago?
Hello and welcome to Where the Frick Is That Game? The show that asks...
Where the frick is that game?
Okay, let's get down to some action. Alex, pick a card. On that card will be the name of a long overdue game. Alex will have to act out the title for Booth to guess.
Okay, it's one word, 3 syllables. We're on the second syllable, I get this. Oh, funny. Oh, Julie Roberts. Pubic hair. Public. First syllable is tinkle. Republic
Is the correct answer.
Well, Republic is still in development with Elixir Studios, a company created by the extremely young, media-savvy darling of the computer games industry, Demis Hassabis. Now, we expected it to be on our consoles sometime this year, but still no show. It's made for megalomaniacs who take control of a Russian republic and then manipulate it so you can have ultimate power. Where the frick is that game? The latest has it that it's going to be released on the PlayStation 2 in the spring, but you're going to have to wait until the end of next year for the PC and the Xbox versions when they finally come out.
Right, Booth, you're next up. So, pick a card, any card, and make it a good one go. Ready?
Okay, one word, 2 syllables. Sounds like, hey, you're horsing, horse. Okay, on the nose, sounds like low down, get funky. Oh, cute puppy dog. Oh, horse, pony, little horse, pony. Sounds like pony. Oh, Oni!
Correctamundo!
A 3D action number combining martial arts, combat, and good old-fashioned gunfire. Only tells a story of a one-woman SWAT team. It's Japanese anime all the way, but it's in a game.
Where the frick is that game?
Word has it, we may get lucky at the start of next year. All I can say is, promises. Don't hold your breath, PlayStation 2 and PC heads.
Thanks, contestants. Time now for a bonus round. All you have to do is fill in the blanks. Which big blankers of video games now think that a blank full of semen is worth more than a blank in the tomb?
But
Oh, I know! Toby Gard and Paul Douglas, creators of Lara Croft, now making Galleon.
That's right. 5 years ago, Toby Gard and Paul Douglas created Lara Croft before leaving a year later to set up their own development company, which would bring us Galleon, the most epic pirate adventure ever.
3 years on and they're still walking the plank, and there's still no X marks the time spot.
Thanks, players. You've been fantastic. And we'll tell you more about the games as and when. Well done, Alex. You've won yourself some invaluable game footage. Only catch is, it's still not coming out till next year. Fill us in, Boof.
Dropship. Ring any bells? Perhaps not, but this upcoming PlayStation 2 title has been sitting pretty for some time, and though not due till September 2001, is already turning heads. With action, tactical shooting and war-based objectives, you act as a pilot of a carrier ship delivering troops, tanks, fuel, saving the odd prisoner of war and infiltrating camps. A variety of missions means objectives can be offensive, requiring basic shoot-'em-up skills, while sometimes you've got to lower your nukes and think peace man in the more defensive or protective operations. What's really rather impressive is how the game utilises some of the PlayStation 2's newfangled beef, which is in part to generate infinite lengths of landscape. This means developers can rethink how much they can pack into a game. The result here being a world that's 40 by 40 kilometres wide and 5 kilometres high. One mission requires you to snake your way through a narrow canyon to reach a bridge and blow it up before enemy tanks reach it. The stuff of boyhood dreams.
Good work, pilot. Return to base.
The game is still in very early code, but what the hey, button up, old boy, and stop blubbering. Dropship looks like one damn impressive war-based game. One for all the family. So go on, let Grandad have a go before he starts reminiscing about the war, how we never had shoes.
See, what I'm doing with this piece is I'm urging people to punctuate using large...
Join us after the break, where we'll be spewing up a load of this.
Angel to Razor, checking in. All lights are green. We are ready to jump.
Razor to all ships. Jumping on my mark. Keep your eyes open and your mouths shut. See you on the other side.
So yeah, what do you think? Good resemblance?
Yeah, right.
You're watching Bits, the show that cuts through all the flaky layers of pants to give you the hard edge of computer gaming.
Coming up, we'll be critiquing the new episodic game Halcyon Sun.
And we'll be giving you the details on all our frightening hopefuls who made it through to the Geek Watch UK finals.
But first, we're going to take a look at some of the titles that you can buy right now on the shop shelf.
And if you're not sure what to spend your moolah on this week, then pay attention!
Up first is the chilling Alien Resurrection. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Alien Resurrection is possibly the scariest piece of interactive cinema to hit the consoles this year. And it's not just because the acting's so bad and the film was dreadful. Throbbing with goo and heartbeats, this is cack your pants into duffel bag-sized thrills. A first-person shooter with a pulse. It does the old gray box proud. It's on your PlayStations.
If you manage to get your mitts on a PlayStation 2, you might just want to head for the vast plains and procure yourself a copy of Smuggler's Run. Filled with free roaming drive time and unspecified contraband, you've got to get from A to B before the pigs catch a whiff of you and take you down. A novel take on the driving game.
After so long a wait, we didn't think it would actually happen. At long last, the boy in denim and brown leather has arrived in the Super Shenmue. This tells the traditional tale of revenging Dad's death, but it does it in a truly remarkable way. Part adventure, part beat-em-up, and fully interactive, it is the reason to buy a Dreamcast.
Before
you're missing the simple pleasures in life and want to get back to basics, then Mr. Driller will carve a place in your heart. You're Mr. Driller, and you have to drill your way to the bottom of each level and collect little cans filled with fresh air. Daft but dangerously addictive. Out in the Dreamcast, the PlayStation, and even the little feller, the Game Boy Color.
And finally, if you are in need of a power fix on your PC, then Civilization Call to Power 2 is ready and willing. You're a control freak and Lex Luthor is your main man. Get rid of those megalomaniacal tendencies and some simple interactive entertainment. Civilization Call to Power 2 is the third in the best-selling strategy game series, contrary to its title. The difference this time is that you're ruling from on high, in your empire built in the sky instead of state representation on the ground level.
Personally, I find scrabbling through space about as appealing as being hung above a field of sewage by my knicker-elastic. But obviously, motion sickness isn't a problem for everyone else, as they brought out a new dogfights in space sim for your PC. It's called Halcyon Sun.
Peacemaker to Doomsayer, let's keep our distance. Missile status?
I'm all out. Used them up on the rest of our Nelida Friends squadron. Gun magazine's full, though.
Same here, so we do this the hard way. First run's mine, cover me.
Set in some far-off dystopic future when man is still struggling to get along, two enemy races, the Indani and the Carolan, ally together against a third race, the invading Nolida. You play Drew Avery, a fighter pilot in the Carolan Space Navy, so you can expect to get into plenty of intergalactic scraps. All sounds pretty standard stuff, but what makes this game stand out from all the others is that you can't buy it off the shop shelves. In fact, Halcyon Sun is one of the first episodic games, available only off the net. Even better, it's free, and you can download it from freeloader.com. To get your joysticks on Halcyon Sun, you'll have to register with the site and answer around 5 profiling questions before you can download the game. I'm here with John NG from freeloader.com. So, John, what's the catch?
Because all the games are free on Freeloader, we've got to pay for it one way or another, I guess.
Yeah.
And so advertising, whether it's on the actual website or whether it's in-game, is just one of the ways we make our money.
Be careful what you wish for. What? It's a proverb.
Complete with opening credits, copious cutscenes, and a compulsory cliffhanger at the end, each chapter is a very reasonable 3 megs, which you can download every 2 weeks. If you're after the full gaming experience, you can even download speech packs that enable the characters to talk in the game. Alternatively, you can just rely on subtitles and suitably epic music.
Now you're talking like a political officer. Are you never off duty, Commissar?
Only if I have good reason, Commander.
We're trying a kind of two-pronged attack. We're trying to target like people who like space shooters, but also people who probably not played it before, any of this type of game before.
Yeah.
And we've introduced a storyline as something that's built on month. We try to introduce a cliffhanger.
Definitely.
Yeah. At the end of each episode, so you think, what's going to happen next episode?
I think it's a really good idea, and I've noticed there's a huge amount of cutscenes in Halcyon Sun, which really drives the story forward.
Yeah.
Do you think that episodic gaming with this many cutscenes will encourage more women to play games? We want more women to play games.
Yeah, I think so. We try to make it so it appeal to everyone. You know, there's romance in it, there's loyalty, there's honour and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and we try to make it so that if you didn't really like the game, you could just skip the missions and actually watch a scene as a TV series.
The Halcyon Sun, along with the rest of the fleet, is on its way to blockade all the known jump points in the system.
Perhaps the most interesting innovation presented by this new means is the fact that the punter might actually get a say in the way the game progresses.
Where they live. That's all. Gear up and get your ships. We fly in 30.
So, do you think this is the future of gaming?
I think it's one of the futures of gaming.
Yeah.
But certainly having distributed directly on the net cuts out the middleman. Hopefully it'll be cheaper for the guy on the other end of a PC to buy it.
Already there are other episodic games popping up. French company Visiware has just unleashed Arabian Nights, a 3D action-adventure with magical overtones. The first chapter is free, after which you'll have to pay for your monthly instalments. Like Freeloader, Visiware have also gone for the audience participation option, stating that from the 6th episode onwards, you'll be able to lead the direction of the story. Ever Evidently, you'll still be able to buy games in shops. The manufacturers will see to that, as will the look on your nephews' and nieces' faces when you hand them over a slip of paper with a password on it for Christmas. In the meantime, you can download the first 4 episodes of Halcyon Sun from freeloader.com now.
At the beginning of the series, we launched our search to find the UK's #1 geek, the person who qualifies on all counts as the United Kingdom's Uberdog. The reward for this admirable character quality is a rather large gaming PC.
Now, over the next couple of days, this monumental nationwide hunt will come to a screeching climax.
Yep, that's right. You've got just 3 days to tell us who that special individual is who you think hands down fulfills the criteria of national nerd.
Now, over the past few weeks, we've drawn up a shortlist based on our interpretations of the entrants who cut the mustard. This selection process left us with 10 finalists, 10 entities, as it were.
So your task is to get on down to our website and vote for your pick, your 1 out of the 10 lucky candidates. Now, we urge you to think very carefully about what in your eyes constitutes geek.
Just to help you with this tricky decision, here's our Jeff with our top geek finalists.
Paddy Boy has a passion for jargon, booze and all things game. Butterfly's a snappy dancer, but she'll have your eye out with those fingers. Ian Rennie's the Scientology freak who found love online. The Wing Commander uses a digital projector to play Mario Kart cinema style. Night Owl John Clark is a bit of a sci-fi fan. Computer is life. Good-looking Lawrence still needs his mum to zip him up. Daniel Johnson has collected every item in Final Fantasy VII. Retro fan Ken's has been gaming forever. Gerard studies artificial intelligence and has even created his own friends. To understand Peter the Codebreaker, you'll have to crack his code yourself.
So go now and vote and make a hardcore geek a happy geek.
Next up is the competition.
So what's on offer tonight then?
Well, Alex, tonight you and 3 of your friends can win a day out paintballing courtesy of Star Wars Demolition.
And all you've got to do is answer this completely random question which we made up ages ago when we were really hungover.
Yeah, thanks, Al. Okay. Bioprogrammers in Japan have just come up with a clever new way of creating video game characters. They're cyber-crossing the finest pedigree stars to spawn a new breed of superheroes with superpowers. Take, for example, the fastest love machine on Earth, Sonic the Willy, or the biggest breasted plumber in Italy, Mario Croft. What we want you to do is come up with some more unbeatable character cross-fertilizations. The best ideas get the prize.
All you have to do is send us your answers via our website to www.full-fledged.com/bits.